All right, Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. I want to give all praises, glory, and honors unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, by Hashem Wakandans, the blindness of the apostles and elders of great millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. This is a quick video that I want to do. I want to do this video based off the movie. Okay, the new Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever, which it's a pretty good movie. All right, pretty good movie. It has some spiritual aspects to it. Okay. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I liked it. I mean, it's a comic book movie, so it has its reasons for being, the way that it is. But for the spiritual aspects that they showed in the movie, okay, this movie is definitely based upon Israelites and the tribes. Okay. I can't, of course, show any footage. All right. I can't show any footage or anything like that, or I'm not going to spoil the movie as far as plot or anything like that. But I do have a couple of shots, images here that I'm going to show. Hopefully they don't take it down. I don't think they will. I mean, if it's taken down, I'll do it again. I'll put it back up. I mean, it's nothing to do with video. But I did want to show this through the spirit of what they show you in this movie, because definitely the Wakandans, the people of Wakanda, are definitely Israelites. Okay. Even down to the history, okay, the historical aspect. Pretty much the movie is telling you that the Wakandans and the people of Talokan, all right, which is based off of the Aztecs and the Mayans, okay, they go back to Israel, okay. So what I have here is I have a picture, image here, a still of Namor, played by this actor Tenoch Huerta. Okay, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Tenoch Huerta. Okay, did a good job in the movie. Okay, which his people are based off of the tribe of Issachar. Okay, like I said, the Mayans and the Aztec culture. Okay, and I'm just going to go through. Okay, like I said, these are just images, but they show you that history, right? 1571 AD, Zama, Yucatan. Okay, so it's basically going back to when. It's going to go back to pretty much the history down there in southern Mexico. All right. So let me just go through. And as you can see, they got pyramids here because the tribe of Issachar, along with the other tribes, they were back there in ancient Egypt. So they took those idols, once Israelites were, once the two kingdoms were scattered and the northern kingdom came to this side of the world, they took the customs of Israel over here to this side of the world, but they also fell back to worshiping the idols of ancient Egypt and the heathen around them. Okay, and in this particular still image here, all right, I want to show you, all right, with this woman here is wearing fringes, and she has the border around them. Okay, all over the garment. You can see it from right here where her bosom is. All right, all the way down to the bottom of her garment. You can see her wearing fringes in the border. Okay, so the producers of this movie, the director Ryan Coogler, which he's I think is a pretty good director. He he did the movie Fruitvale Station. Maybe about 10 years ago now. He's done the Creed movies, and he's also done the Marvel Black Panther movies. All right, but when he goes into history, when he goes into the background of certain characters that are supposed to be based off of history, even with Fruitvale Station, he made sure that he got the right actual, neighborhood and background, and the producers, they did a pretty good job, because Fruitvale Station was based off of the death of this Jake. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a few years since I seen it. Oscar Grant, that was killed at Fruitvale Station in California. Okay, so he pretty much got certain things right in that movie, and even getting into certain historical points with Africa and Black Panther, he got certain things right. Now, of course, it's a fictional movie, so it's based off of all different cultures all around Africa just to make Wakanda. All right, once you got people that get bent out of shape over Black Panther, like it's supposed to be some kind of historical documentary. It's based off of a children's comic book. Okay, so there are cultural aspects that the producers and directors of these movies take liberty with. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but now dealing with this movie here, going back to Wakanda Forever, they did their homework with the people of the Yucatan. In showcasing these tribes here, okay? Notably the tribe of Issachar. All right? And you can see, now this I believe is supposed to be the mother of Namor, okay? Well, they say Namor, right? But she's clearly an Israelite woman, right, of the Northern Kingdom. She's wearing her fringes of border of blue, okay? Right? And Namor is breaking down the history. He's mentioning about the conquistadors bringing in the smallpox, and he's telling this story to the princess of Wakanda, Shuri, about how him and his people came to be. Okay? Right? So it says Spanish conquistadors who brought the smallpox, a hateful language and dogma from another world. That's in Deuteronomy 28. All right? Or it says that thou shalt not understand their speech, and they should be as swift as the eagle. Roughly paraphrasing Deuteronomy 28. About how a fierce nation, okay, shall come upon the tribes, and that was a part of the curses. Okay, so they do bring in some actual historical points into this movie. Okay, and that's why I said, to me it was a good movie. All right, I would recommend you watch it for these particular points. And these movies aren't just put out here just to be entertainment. Sometimes you can get, certain facts and certain insights and certain things out of these movies. Okay? Okay? right? Wakanda forever. So I was watching the movie right here. So this is part of the curses, all right? It also says in Deuteronomy 28 that thou shalt have the different diseases not written in the book, okay? From the sole of the foot onto the top of the head. And they show you this in the new Black Panther movie. So Issachar is coming down with the smallpox. Okay. Right. So this is, like I said, the southern and northern kingdom come together in the movie. Okay. It's not a spoiler. It's just a part of the film. Okay. So just hearing these things, right? And they got their idols and their gods and things that they throw in there. Okay. Right. So I want to show you here. Now this is one of the shamans of the movies, and you can see he's clearly wearing the fringes, right? Because I like to say that the Mexicans and the Native Americans and Seminole Indians and the people of Central and South America are not Israelites, yet they are clearly adhering to the laws and the commandments and the customs of the Israelites. Okay, and this is like a garment, a brother would get today. Today, certain brothers would get them Hispanic, so-called Hispanic or so-called Mexican poncho garments with the fringes already woven into the garment. Well, this is a part of the culture that the Aztecs and Mayans had. Okay? All right? You see here, you see the border around this garment. Okay? And then you see the fringes. Right? It looks like the fringes that we put on our garments. All right? You got the border of blue. It doesn't have to. All the border of blue doesn't have to necessarily be just flat, plain blue, but it has to be blue. Like sometimes you get a little, designs in there. Jacob's creative. Okay, but you see the border of blue here, and you see the fringes. All right. And here's a good image. All right, perfect image. All right. So clearly, these people are Israelites. Okay, clearly, this is clearly an Israelite. All right, clearly. So Ryan Coogler and the directors of this movie understood the culture of the Yucatan. Right, they went on site. I believe they also went to Haiti, okay, or Haiti. All right, and they filmed some scenes there, which we know that the people of Haiti are the Levites, okay, the priests. So you got a good aspect of all the tribes represented, the northern and southern kingdom represented in this movie. Okay. All right, you see the border blue again. All right. Here's a good image right here. A good image. You see the border, and you see his mother with the fringes. All right. So you're gonna tell me that these people in Hollywood don't understand and know what's going on with the tribes, right? And even if you look, it looks like those are Hebrew characters there that looks like a ka, right, or the cop, right, up here, this K looking symbol. I mean, it's probably not, but I just caught that just looking at it. Okay, but these are Israelites. All right. So when I was watching the movie, right, I seen the fringes, the border, and I said, well, these are the tribes. Okay. And whether or not it was known to the director, right, himself, but clearly when you go into the culture and you get the images and you get the history behind the people of what they was trying to represent in this movie, in Wakanda Forever, all right, you can see that even in the customs of what they saw, all right, they were Israelites, all right. Here's another good image here, okay. And they all have that border around the fringes, okay. They're all wearing that border around the fringes, okay. It says your baby will be the first to be born in our new home. All right, so yeah, and these are clearly Northern Kingdom Israelites, all right, so-called Hispanics. Right, you see them going into captivity, okay? And this was like a scene from Roots, okay? And this is in the new Black Panther movie. Tell me that this doesn't look like a scene from Roots, okay? With this guy, LeVar Burton, all right? Or any slave movie, you know, Amistad, right? It looks like a scene straight out of Amistad. But this is dealing with the Northern Kingdom, all right? The so-called Latin Americans, okay? Those tribes, all right? But then you got Israelites out here like Fopi and these other groups that say that those people are not Israelites when they clearly have the customs, even in a fictional movie. But when they bring out the history, they show you that. Because the truth is coming out. Okay? There's a lot of records coming out that even people amongst the people of the world can look into to get this understanding. Okay? And we bring it out doing these videos and on the streets every week to give you the proper, full understanding of who these people are. Okay? Clearly it says that these northern tribesmen of Israel, okay, are slaves, all right, and they're roped together, okay, to go into captivity, all right, to work, as you see here, to work for these Spaniards, all right. There you go. And then you see the images back behind them. He's painting images of the tribes, dark-skinned people, okay, because the tribes are different shades of brown, all right? So they understand that history was important, okay? Yeah, man shouts in Spanish, yeah, because the Northern Kingdom were taken over by the Spaniards when they came over to this side of the world and conquered it, all right? But they were Edomites. So this is a part of the history in the movie, okay? Whip slashing, so they was getting whipped, so they was getting roped and tied together and getting whipped, just like the Southern Kingdom, okay? All right, and this was a good scene here, right? And this is no more speaking to Shuri. For centuries, the surface nations have conquered and enslaved people like us, right? Because you had the different tribes in Africa come together to form Wakanda, but you can say that the people in Wakanda are also Israelites, the same way the people here in Talokan, right, in the MCU are Israelites. All right, let's keep going. It says over resources. Yeah, Now, Pastor Hard, he did a video earlier going into iridium and how iridium, the second largest source of iridium, which is a precious metal, which at this time is more expensive than gold. That metal is found in Haiti. Okay, it's found in Haiti, which Haiti played a prominent role in this movie as well. Okay, so the spirit of Yahweh Shai is working to show that the tribes are not only scattered all over the world in different places, but through the history and even in fiction but hey, the tribes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to come together, all right? Are going to interact and be oppressed together, as it says in the prophecy, right? In Jeremiah, I believe it's the 50th chapter, okay? So they enslave the tribes over what? Over resources. For example, you have the metal iridium in Haiti, okay? You had that story come out last year about tons of gold found in Uganda, okay? Which there's a lot of Israelites amongst the people of Uganda and the Congo. Even though you have Hamites, but a lot of those people in Africa are Israelites, because those ancient Israelite kingdoms, okay, held those lands where Israelites were. Listen, all Israelites didn't go into captivity out of West Africa, okay? A lot of them did. Millions of Israelites came over here to the Americas in captivity on cargo slave ships, but a lot of them also were scattered around Africa and stayed in Africa, okay? This is why you got brothers in Tanzania, all right, in Great Millstone, brothers in South Africa, all right? You got IUIC, Bishop Nathaniel can go and get a plane and get some of his men to go over to places like Ghana and Sierra Leone and set up camp in those African nations, because you still have Israelites over there in those lands. Okay, a lot of those rulers of Africa are Israelites. Okay, but they have to do deals with Esau, and they're constantly fighting them Hamites over there still. That's why you got those civil wars happening over there, right? Because Jake is still fighting among those different tribes over there, still fighting against the Hamites. Just like when you read the scriptures with King David and the Philistines, Jake has always warned against these different nations, okay, until this day. And they have civil wars amongst each other. So then you have countries like China and Russia and America and Britain can get up in there and take advantage and get the resources, right? And this is what they're talking about in the movie, okay? Right? So, you said let us burn together, and that makes me think of the first scripture, right? Because he's talking to, like I said, the princess, Jake, so-called black woman, right? And he's talking about burning the surface world, which the surface world represents Esau, okay? The nations ran by the West and the heathen, right? And it makes me think about Obadiah, when the northern kingdom, Ephraim, and the other northern kingdom tribes, and Judah and the other southern kingdom tribes are going to come together like a fire and a flame, okay, to destroy Esau, the whole house of Esau. All right, Obadiah 1 and 18 on down, okay? All right? The tribes are going to burn the nations out, all right? Specifically Edom, Okay? So this movie clearly shows the tribes coming together, or speaking about coming together. All right, I'll let y'all watch the movie. All right, Black Panther, Wakanda forever. All right, the Wakandans and the Talokans are Israelites. All right, and the people of Talokan or Talokan, however you say it, they wear fringes and the border of blue because they go back to Israel. Okay, let's get these different scenes. All right, all these different still shots and scenes. Okay, fringes in the border of blue. See here. Okay. And this shows you too, right? Like in the scripture, it says that the northern kingdom made their own priests, right? And you had their shamans amongst these different Latin American tribes. Over here, the priesthood goes to the tribe of Levi. But in the history, they had to make, because tribe of Levi was with the southern kingdom, Judah and Benjamin. The tribe of Gad and other certain men in the different tribes became so-called shamans of these different gods, But that's also why the so-called white man was sent over here to punish Israel, right? Like it says in the book of Hosea. Okay. And I want to show this part too. All right, I want to show this particular thing too, right? So when you go into this movie, right, it mentions, okay, and you can watch the movie, all right? You can watch the movie. It mentions about the Wakandans more specifically, the people of Talokan being the lost tribe apart from the Wakandans. So in this particular movie, all right, this guy here, Killmonger, knows, right? Because remember, he in the first movie, right, he talked about his people or their people, all right, and people of Wakanda and other so-called West Africans and even African Americans are all the same people, okay? But his thing was to take over Esau, his own way, which he failed. And here in this movie, he mentions that the people of Talokan were part of the lost tribes. Okay? So I want to show that last particular part. I hope this was edifying. Till next time, all praise to go to Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, Bashim Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Shalom.